Hello everybody, this is Intrepid83 and welcome back to Let's Play Tron Evolution, bonus episode number 1. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at all of the, well, not all of them, but a good number of the Tron files that we picked up, of the 29 Tron files we picked up throughout the Let's Play, so let's take a look. And I actually almost forgot about the model galleries as well, so I guess that's another thing I'll have to cover. But yeah, for this episode, I think I'll probably just take a look at some of the Tron files and then save the model galleries for maybe next time. So, anyways, Tron files. I guess it really depends on how long it takes to go through these. All right, so basically, as far as I'm gonna take this stuff is basically just kind of stuff that I think would be that really adds to the, I guess you could say, the lore of Tron and Tron Legacy, and just the world itself, as opposed to, you know, things like the Navibit or the light cycle we're all familiar with, kind of thing. So yeah, anything that's more related to, you know, the game, or, you know, just about the world, so to speak, or the grid, I guess you could say. So yeah, all right, let's take a look at Tron. Alright, version 1.0, created in 1981 by Encom programmer Alan Bradley, designed as independent security protocol to monitor data transfers in company mainframe. Version 2.0, refactored in TC1, 1983, by Kevin Flynn. Memory allotment increased, allowing for greater expansion and adaptation capabilities. Designated as head of system security, entrusted with maintaining system integrity alongside designated system administrator Clue. Proficient in disc and baton combat, expert class privileges and light cycle recognizer and light tank operation granted. Alrighty, ZUSE. Basic program, merchant and proprietor of popular Tron City's social establishment End of Line Club. Suspected key figure in black market trade of discontinued modifications. Self-proclaimed lubricant that greases the rusted gears of our digital society. Disparate accounts of origin exist. Reputedly designed and created by Kevin Flynn in TC30 as an interpreter, but quickly and naturally exceeded his original directive. Unconfirmed conflicting report describes Origin as low-priority actuarial algorithm who illegally co-opted identity of obsolete protocol. More investigation required for verification. No known proficiencies, operator class privileges, and light cycle operation granted. Oh, so it's kind of like a I want to say black sheep, but I'm not sure if that's the right term or not. But interesting. Alright, let's actually take a look at the solar sailor, because that did play somewhat of a role in the movies. So let's take a look at it and see what it's all about. Large cargo carrier used to convey oversized resources between grid cities and settlements. Propelled by energy rail system drawn through conductive sails. Automatically controlled as per pre-programmed rail paths, though onboard manual overrides possible. Usage permissions restricted to system administration security. Cool, that actually kind of not only does that apply to Tron Legacy, but it also applies to the original Tron too, so that's kind of cool. QUORRA. Little currently known about this program. Creation date estimated approximate to TC 270. Seemingly acquainted with both prominent ISOs and basics such as Radia and ZUSE. More investigation required. Proficient in baton combat, expert class privileges, and light cycle operation granted. Alright, let's learn more about about Arza and the Arzans. Arza, regarded as spiritual center of the grid, home to both basics and ISOs. Created in TC-146 by an Alpha class ISO named Jalen. Wow. To house growing number of devotees to purported Oracle Radia, strategically located directly over Codestream Nexus. Well-known locations within Arza are the hub, current population of 512,486. Wow, so Jalen was actually the founder, I guess you could say, of Arza itself. That's wow. And then Clue got to him. But anyways, The Arzans. Heavily philosophical programs founded upon literal teachings of grid creator Kevin Flynn, united by a common goal to one day access the mystical haven beyond the grid supposedly inhabited by users known as Real World, structured as a peaceful theocracy beneath their spiritual leader, or the Oracle Radia, only known community openly comprised of both basics and ISOs, reside primarily in the crystalline metropolis of Arza. Neat. Interesting. Light tank. Nah. You know what? Just for the sake of the original Tron. Heavy assault vehicle initially designed and created by Kevin Flynn in 1981 for Encom published software application Space Paranoids. Unibody construction, high polymer treading allows for enhanced all-terrain access. Mounted swivel turret featuring ion-charged energy cannon. Fires light energy shells at rate of fire of 80 per nanosecond. Usage permissions restricted to system administration security. Oh yeah, and the one Tron file I was missing, as I mentioned at the end of, during the credits of the game, it was a Solar Sailor one. Yeah, so, but yeah, it was when I was going back through to pick up that one Tron file. Oh man, going through there with the end game level skills was quite easy. Let's put it that way. It's very much powerful. The power is definitely noticeable. But yeah, game grid. We know all about that. Tron City. Yeah, let's take a look. Why not? Central metropolis of grid, home to both basics and ISOs created by Flynn in TC1, though regularly modified by Clue since. Location of all key operations, including system administration, utilities, and security, comprised of core section districts L1, L2, and L3. Restricted sublevel. Well-known locations within Tron City are Central Processing, Flynn's Arcade, End of Line Club. Current population 16,453,479. Neat. Yeah, the recognizers. Yeah, those things. Again, another. I guess you could say. Yeah, I'll just use the word I use here, transport, that he used for in Space Paranoids, so that's kind of cool. Clue. System Administrator, version 1.0, created in 1982 by Kevin Flynn, is hacking program designed to circumvent established Encom security protocols and data mine mainframe. Quarantined and deres by Master Control Program. Yeah. Version 2.0, created in TC1 in 1983 by Kevin Flynn, repurposed into System Administration Protocol, responsible for managing cycle-to-cycle operations alongside of System Security counterpart Tron. Proficient in Disc Combat, Expert Class privileges, and Light Cycle Light Tank operation granted. Yeah. BOSTRUM Colony. Let's find out about those guys. BOSTRUM Colony, distant settlement situated in Outlands, exclusive home to ISO faction known as Bostrumites, formed in TC-162 following rise of tensions in Tron City between basic and ISO inhabitants. Well-known locations within BOSTRUM Colony are the Colonel. Current population 6,935. Alrighty. Let's learn more about Gibson. He did give his life to protect us, so. Beta Class ISO emerged from Sea of Simulation in TC-148, member of Governing Council of Isolated BOSTRUM Colony. Oh, so he's kind of in charge there. Assigned to Grid Engineering Core within System Utilities shortly after emergence, where he quickly excelled in developing innovative energy transfer systems. Reportedly driven out following a violent confrontation with basic colleagues stemming from co-workers' xenophobia and jealousy, claim unsubstantiated at last check. Left City Core following his departure from his post at Utilities and joined the ISO-only faction known as the Bostrumites. Rose quickly into a position of prominence among the Governing Council due to the benefits to remote colony resultant from his innate abilities. I hope I didn't butcher that sentence too much, that it didn't make any sense, but anyways. Able to manipulate and conserve large quantities of energy, expert in baton combat, operator class privileges, and light cycle and recognizer operation granted. Alright, and the Bostrumites themselves. Faction of disenfranchised ISOs seeking asylum from purported xenophobic abuse. Claim unsubstantiated at last check. Majority of members relocated from city core to remote outlands, desiring existence free from interference or influence of rival basics. Egalitarian society governed by advisory council as selected democratically by general population. Prone to aggressive self-modification in order to better survive harsh conditions in outlands, as well as to further delineate cells from other programs. Reside primarily in BOSTRUM colony. Actually kind of reminds me of a much more calm version of the, I guess you'd say the clans in Mad Max or something like that, but anyways, let's learn about basics. We already pretty much know as much, but just to give it a confirmation, so to speak, I guess. These are created programs with clearly defined directives for operation or function, operate within a strictly regimented class system, determined by priority ranking within the system. With some exceptions, are not able to adapt or change beyond boundaries of their user-issued directives. Largest percentage of basics found in the city core, though some cohabit in ISO cities and territories. Pardon me. Currently comprise the majority of grid residents, though rival ISO population continues to grow steadily. Alright, and we'll save these two for last, I guess. Radia. Political and spiritual head of ISO faction known as Arzans, one of the oldest alpha-class ISOs, having emerged from the Sea of Simulation in TC-29. Educated in workings of human culture by Kevin Flynn upon adoption for purpose of studying ISO development. Use unfettered access to Flynn to achieve current revered status as faction leader by sharing teachings and anecdotal experiences with other interested programs across grid as purported gospel or doctrine. Able to read patterns in code and detect fluctuations in energy flow through grid with innate ability enhanced by central interface module in Arza City. Proficient in baton combat, expert class, privileges, and light cycle operation granted. Interesting. So she was one of the first ones. She must have been one of the first ones that Kevin Flynn ran into. For those that are familiar with the story behind Tron Legacy. Anyways, light disk. Yeah, we already kind of know what that is. ABRAXAS. This ought to be interesting. Virus, formerly an alpha-class ISO named as Jalen. Emerged from Sea of Simulation in TC-29, originally adopted by Flynn for intensive study regarding unknown nature of ISOs. Received advanced education in user culture from Flynn alongside a fellow ISO, Ophelia, and slated for ordination into system administration. Thought to be derezzed during an unusually violent accident during a grid game tournament in TC-296. In truth, was secretly taken captive and corrupted by Clue into a highly unstable virus. Able to manipulate and transform all forms of energy. Can spread infection to other programs with a single touch. Proficient in disc combat, yeah. Expert class privilege and light cycle operation granted. Wow. Alright, and the last two. Let's go with Kevin Flynn. Creator of Grid, developed several fundamental software applications including Space Paranoids, Vice Squad, Matrix Blaster, Light Cycles. System solitary human user and patriarch of Grid, revered by basics and ISOs alike. Born 1949, received doctorate from Caltech in 1980, recruited by Encom shortly thereafter. First discovered the existence of Grid in 1982, when unwittingly digitized and imported into previous iteration of system by master control program. Initially developed current iteration of program in isolation in 1983, continues development of current system to this cycle. Full extent of unique abilities unknown, able to manipulate energy and create code. Proficient in disc combat to expert class privileges and light cycle and light tank operation granted. And then our protagonist, Anon. Upgraded version of Grid Standard System Monitor, known to have expandable memory and unlimited ability for adaptation. Beta test version recently installed by Kevin Flynn in TC301. Currently a unique presence in system. Full extent of capabilities as of yet unknown. Proficient in disc combat. Operator class privileges and light cycle recognizer and light tank operation granted. Neat. Alrighty. So, anything else I want to take a look at here? No, everything else we can pretty much see for ourselves. I think the Outlands, it kind of covered that in the even in the Bostrumites. Just, you know, the whole idea that they had to modify themselves to be able to survive, and the harsh conditions, and even in Tron Legacy, I mean, they mention it as being a lot of things on the grid can't survive in the Outlands. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah. Yeah, what the heck, light disk. Standard storage device for all programs contains fragments of code responsible for personal identification, assigned functions and directives, priority ranking, and access privileges, usable energy quotients. Existence without a disk is possible, though typically limited to power lower priority or obsolete programs. Very interesting. Yeah, everything else, yeah, seems to be rather basic stuff, but yeah, that was actually rather interesting. Alright, so I guess, yeah, well, let's just take a quick look at this. Total DRes 579, total decompile 65. So I guess I died 65 times. 49 DRes streak, wow. And I guess these are all the DReses that we did. And all these zeros are probably related to online play, so yeah. Oh wow, highest combo 20. Interesting. Alright, so I guess that's about all the time I have for this episode. In the next episode, we'll take a look at the model galleries. This is Intrepid83 signing off. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.